Have you ever noticed that some people just refuse to quit? They keep going when they're exhausted. They keep pushing when logic says stop. They keep trying after failure, rejection, embarrassment, setbacks, and loss. Why? Hunger. Hunger. Hunger may be the one greatest ingredient of success. And I've had the privilege of experiencing both hunger and the loss of hunger. I've experienced success and I've experienced failure. And honestly, both can teach you something. Failure teaches you what not to do. Failure teaches you resilience. Failure teaches you adjustment. Failure teaches you wisdom. But before any of that matters, you first need the hunger to try. Think about animals in the wild. Every single day they wake up with one mission: survive. If they don't hunt, they don't eat. If they don't move, they starve. Eventually, hunger forces movement. And human beings aren't that much different. Real hunger creates movement. Hunger is more than desire. Hunger is more than motivation. Hunger is a burning force inside you. It gets you out of bed. It keeps you moving, and it creates persistence without you even trying to be persistent. Hunger is persistence on steroids. Because when you're truly hungry for something, you keep going whether you feel like it or not. You fight through exhaustion. You fight through laziness. You fight through obstacles. You fight through fear, and you fight through rejection. Because hunger overrides comfort. That's why hungry people often accomplish extraordinary things. A hungry entrepreneur, a hungry musician, inventor, student, a hungry parent trying to build a future. Hunger pushes people beyond normal limits. When I first moved to Hollywood, I lived in a studio apartment with 7 guys. We all slept on the floor. At night, you could hear the cockroaches crawling across the floor. We'd buy one giant bag of rice because that's all we could afford. Sometimes we had to pick out cockroaches out of the rice just before eating it. Whenever you turned on the lights, they'd scatter everywhere. We used to crinkle up newspaper and make it soft because we couldn't afford toilet paper that we were so broke. Now some people hear that and think, that sounds horrible. But I hear hunger. That's what hunger looks like. Hunger says, I don't care how uncomfortable this is, I'm going to keep going anyway. I'm going to do this. And something interesting happens when people finally become successful. Sometimes they lose their hunger. You see this a lot in musicians. Bands start out starving, struggling, passionate, desperate to make it. Then they become millionaires. Suddenly the fire changes. The edge softens, the urgency fades, the hunger disappears. They become uncomfortable. Even the movie Rocky talked about this. Rocky lost his hunger after success, and comfort made him weaker. And honestly, one of the hardest things in life is trying to become hungry again after losing everything. After losing your business, after losing your marriage, after losing opportunities, after losing momentum, and after losing your dream, to stand there empty and somehow find the strength to start over. But that's exactly what many successful people had to do. They had to rediscover the hunger. They had to get back into the ring. They had to get back into the game. And maybe that's where you are right now. Maybe life knocked you down. Maybe you got comfortable. Maybe you lost your fire. Maybe disappointment drained your passion. But hunger can return. Sometimes pain creates hunger. Sometimes purpose creates hunger. Sometimes vision creates hunger. But once that fire comes back, it changes everything. Because hungry people move differently. They think differently. They act differently. They persist differently. And if you don't yet feel that hunger, keep searching. Maybe you haven't found that thing that truly matters to you yet. Maybe there's still a calling inside you waiting to wake up. Because when you find something you truly believe in, something that matters deeply to you, hunger becomes unstoppable. And that hunger may become the very thing that changes your life. I'd love to hear your comments below. Share this with somebody. Give us a like. Subscribe to Accomplished Coach and win. And remember, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.